Feeling a little tired lately, a little cranky, on edge, feeling like you've got to stuff down your emotions because if you let it out, it will just explode? Feeling super sensitive, moody, feeling like your energy levels are being negatively impacted by a brewing, stewing maelstrom of emotions inside of you? My friends, this is all perfectly normal right now. It's not you, it's the stars above doing their thing. Yes, we're talking astrology of Mars transit through Cancer. So I decided to make a video on Mars's transit through Cancer, which started September 4th and will go until November 3rd. But then, wait, there is more. We will also have a Mars retrograde in Cancer later in the year into 2025. So this energy is going to come back around to haunt us, to trigger us, to maybe help us learn some important lessons in the Cancer area of our chart. We are definitely going to be dealing with a lot of intense emotions, and that is what I want to talk about in this video. We are going to discuss this transit vis-a-vis your moon sign. If you don't know your moon sign, you can go to astro.com and generate a birth chart. And, there's other free websites out there. That's the one I use. And you will find out where the moon was when you were born. And that is the lens through which we are going to discuss this transit, give you some helpful advice, what to expect, how you might be feeling. We'll talk about it astrologically, and we'll also crack open the tarot. Keep watching. So as always, welcome to the channel or welcome back. So awesome to have you here. I'm just going to discuss some of the astrology first that is applicable to all the signs. The timestamps for your moon sign are in the description of the video and in the first pinned comment. And in case you're wondering about the thumbnail, I put the two wolves with the moon on the thumbnail because when I was thinking about this energy, I got kind of that psychic hit about which wolf are you going to feed? Based on that old folklore, folk tale of there's two wolves inside of you, the good wolf and the not so good wolf, right? And if they're fighting with one another or whatnot, like which one is going to win? And it's always the one that you feed, right? So you can choose to feed the wolf of anger and calamity and disrespect and drama, or you can feed the wolf of protection, caring, nurturing, loyalty, and using your energy in a healthy way instead. All right, so here's the thing about Mars. Mars rules Aries. Aries is about action, initiation. Aries often acts before they think or maybe sometimes even feel. They just go by this instinctual response mechanism. But here is the thing. Mars is at its fall in Cancer, which means that it is not at its full speed. It means that it's not comfortable there. It means that it may feel the need to hide. Its energy is at half-mast or sometimes even masked, not just half-mast, going on slow engines, right? It's just when a planet is in its fall, it is not at its optimum level of expression. It's not in a good place, in other words. Now, Cancer, of course, is ruled by the moon. Cancer is associated with our emotions. This is why I'm doing this reading from the perspective of your moon sign, because this is a very emotional transit with Mars spending so long in Cancer, and the fact he will also be retrograde there. So I think there's going to be a lot of processing of deep emotions. There's a lot of energy that's going to be happening. In any case, okay, so Cancer is ruled by the moon. Moon represents our emotions, our emotional body, our home, our family, our roots, the foundation, since it rules the fourth house in astrology, Cancer does. the foundation of our lives. Like, what's important to us? What feeds us? What nurtures us? What do we need to be happy? Mars is the warrior. He rules Aries. It really is about taking action. And Mars and, the fourth house, the moon, like, it can be expressed in a healthy way, like redoing where you live, like rearranging the furniture in your apartment, refurbishing a home, going through a home renovation. Like, that's a positive use of Martian energy in a fourth house transit. Okay, but Mars is not naturally compatible with the moon. It can bring out feisty emotions. It can bring out anger. And there's nothing wrong with anger. I really want to make that clear. Anger is an emotion, right? It is neither positive or negative. It's what you do with it, right? Like, it's perfectly valid to get angry about things. But is it okay to take that anger out on other people or even yourself? No. We need to especially find healthy outlets for our anger. Anything that emotionally comes up from deep within us during this transit, healthy outlets. Okay, and this does not mean taking it out on your family or friends. Also, family signified by the moon, right? Or not taking it out on your home by bashing your fist through the wall because you're so mad. No. We don't want to do any of that, right? That is not healthy. But it's also very unhealthy to do a typical Mars in Cancer thing, which is to have passive aggressiveness, where you don't directly say what you need, express yourself. Instead of expressing your anger, like, you just, sabotage, like, you say you're going to do something for somebody, but you're angry at them. So then you show up late or you don't do it, like things like that, the passive aggressive nature. That is not healthy. But the feeling of anger can be healthy. It's an emotion. It alerts us to something within us that needs to be looked at, that maybe needs to be processed through and changed in a healthy way. If we look at the glyph of Mars, which is the astrological symbol of what he represents, right, his planet, he has the circle with the arrow on it. I always call this the arrow of desire. What are you pointing your arrow at, right? Having a clear target. Now, when Mars is in Cancer, he doesn't always know what he wants, right? He could go back and forth emotionally between two things. He may not be clear. He may have very mixed emotions, mixed feelings about what he wants to do and pursue next, which is possibly where also some of the confusing mixed signals can come when Mars is transiting in Cancer. We may all feel very sensitive and moody. Our stomachs may be especially sensitive at this time. We could, just maybe comfort eat. Mars is how we use our energy. We want to be careful about not eating bad foods right now out of a sense of needing comfort in some way. That would be an unhealthy way to deal with any type of emotions. There can be some angry tears right now. Again, tears are a river that take you somewhere. So I forget who exactly said that quote, but it's very true, right? Instead of, again, keeping that anger inside, brewing in you, getting yourself all tied up in knots, that's very Cancer. Have healthy, angry tears. Let it out. That is perfectly okay, right? But maybe don't eat bad things. Don't be, doing things you shouldn't be doing, like with the vino, that's not helpful. Now, of course, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. You do whichever you want. I'm just offering some helpful ways for you to consider using this energy so it doesn't use you. Now, Mars in Cancer can have a positive aspect. Everything's not, doom and gloom. Mars in Cancer can make us very loyal and protective of the people that we care about, the people, the pets, the places, whatever we value, whatever is home to us. We will be willing to defend it. This is also a time, though, when we may be especially sensitive to what is it that we are signing up to be loyal to or defend, right? So we may look at emotional baggage that maybe we have been carrying. Is this still ours to carry? We may decide with this Mars in Cancer to let go of it, or especially when Mars will be retrograde in Cancer later in the year and into 2025, we may decide, I don't want to carry this anymore, as we regroup and rethink how we're responding to this Mars and Cancer energy. This is also a really good time to explore, where are you at home in the world? What aligns with your energy? That is, of course, Mars. Mars is how we use our energy. What fits you? What place do you feel comfortable in? What feels like home, Cancer, to you? What places and people and things nurture you, that support and uplift your energy, where you can be yourself and where you can express yourself freely as yourself? So let's get into talking about this energy for each of the signs, and we'll crack open the tarot deck and see if we can get some additional advice for you. So again, watch for your moon sign. So Aries moons, this can be an especially interesting transit for you, because at some point, of course, I don't know the exact degree of your moon, but this energy is in square, which is tense alignment to your moon sign, right? So, and we're talking about your ruling energy that rules your moon, right? The Mars rules Aries. So this could be an especially emotional transit for you. Absolutely. Especially in terms to how you're feeling about where you're living, how you're living, and who you're living with, right? Does the environment support you? Do changes need to be made? Are there disagreements that you've been bottling? Maybe long-standing disagreements with friends and family. Are there family feuds going on right now that you feel you cannot express and discuss because you're just worried you're going to go ballistic? In a sense of just verbally ballistic, spewing, because you've been holding something in. Now, Aries moons tend to be very honest, very forthright. Like, what you see is what you get. Like, people know when you're angry or annoyed, or whether you're happy or sad. It works all the ways. Sometimes Aries hides their sadness, though. But, so you're very authentic moon energy. But when Mars is transiting this Cancer, this fourth house, kind of energy for you, you may be holding back more emotionally. You may be a little more cautious about just spewing, right? Because you realize a little more maybe what's at stake, especially when Mars will be retrograde from January 6th until February 23rd of 2025. Like, you may be really like, do I really want to say this and sever this connection and burn a bridge? So there's, I think, a lot going on for you about evaluating burning bridges with this Mars in Cancer transit. And is it worth it or not? But this is also to say you do need to confront and deal with, in healthy ways, as I said in the prelude to this video, intense emotions that may be going on for you right now. Okay, so let's pull some tarot and discuss. Also, really watching what you're eating. Usually Aries moons like spicy things and caffeine, of course. So you may find that those are disagreeing with you right now, or you need to cut back on them. Not medical advice, but, because you already have a sensitive stomach. You may be feeling like, I don't really need to be indulging in those things right now. I would also say, too, like, really look at energies of inflammation that you maybe have going on in your body and how that might be connected with unexpressed anger, expressing anger again in a healthy way, rather than holding on to it. And this can be things, again, long-standing, right? It doesn't have to be that it happened yesterday. It could have happened 10 years ago. It can be stuff like that you are processing and dealing with. So, and there may be some, disruptions on the home front that, again, you're going to have to rise up and deal with. And working through any resentments about being the one that they go to, right? The people around you, they lean very heavily on you in the family or friends, whatever your family is. Sometimes it's like we choose our family, right? Whatever that network of support is for you, they lean heavily on you. What about when you need some support? So there could be some dynamics and things going on like that for you. with this Mars transit of Cancer. And with that Mars retrograde, really doing that reevaluation of what you're willing to carry. Okay, so this is very interesting. The Fool and the Sun cards are coming out for you, suggesting that you do need a fresh start. Maybe a trip will do it for you. Okay, maybe a trip will do. Wow, look what's under this. Look what's under this. The Ace of Cups and the Death card. I'm going to say this. I think that you are going to use this Mars transit to find a new place in the sun for you. And it will require an emotional change and an emotional letting go and emotional refreshment of your own desires. So this could be a creative fresh start. It's possible with the Leo energy here. But it could also be like, I need to find a whole new life for myself. I need to explore and find a new place where I can grow and live. I need to turn my back on things that don't make me happy and don't make me feel free. So, and again, this self-interest, and also interesting is the water, the Cancer energy that is coming up here. This is a lot about nurturing yourself. And let me just say this too, and I've said it before in other videos, Aries get very unfairly accused of being selfish. Are there selfish Aries? Sure. Every sign has its selfish people, okay? But Aries are often the leaders, the heroes or heroines of whoever they come in contact with. People look up to the natural leadership abilities, but And Aries usually will step up into that role and will serve and help. You know, let's not forget Aries' 6th house is Virgo, right? They will serve. But then sometimes Aries lose their own emotional needs in the process. You know, like Aries learn, I think, as they go along. Sometimes it's the ego, the sun, that they're serving. Yeah, they love those. Oh, you did that for me, Aries. Okay, yeah, they like that. But then I think as life goes on, they realize, well, what about their own emotional needs? And who is around also to support and feed them? So you may be finding, like I was saying before, like you may be finding that you are letting go of some people and places in your life that are really not supportive of this next phase of growth and evolution for you. And you have beautiful energies here to have a new beginning. I will also say this new beginning will probably happen like fully. You'll step into it when it could happen at 2 phases. It could happen when Mars enters Leo for a brief sojourn, November 5th, and will be in there until about December 5th, 6th. It will also come back around when Mars gets back into Leo at the end of April and onward, April 2025. So, you know, you could have 2 phases of beautiful growth here in emotionally moving on and letting go of baggage. He's traveling lightly, the Fool. So that does suggest to me, again, there's some sort of baggage for you to feel light and free and more like yourself. Let's not forget the sun is exalted in Aries, which means that it is powerful and wonderful when it's in Aries. So there's something here about letting your own emotional light shine, your own emotional fulfillment. But there is a change on the horizon. This is probably going to be in November. We got the Scorpio energy. There's going to be a change on the horizon where you are letting go of emotional baggage and freeing yourself. And that emotional baggage, again, can be a person, a place, a thing, you know, a home you're living, possessions you don't want anymore, those types of things. So this Mars in Cancer transit is a lot about your emotional freedom and finding your place in the sun. So Taurus moons, this is an interesting transit for you. You know, a Taurus moon loves love, loves comfort, loves stability. And Cancer is a lot in a similar vein, right? Loves to be nurtured and nurturing, loves to be comforted and have a comfortable environment. So you and Cancer have similar, like a little bit of a similar vibe going on there. But now Mars is coming on in to maybe perhaps agitate your sense of comfort, especially probably with the communications. So there may be some interesting, difficult conversations that you've been trying to avoid because you don't want to disturb the peace, your peace, somebody else's peace in general. I mean, you just don't want to have any ruffled feathers or disturb your sense of calm and quiet and safety and security, which are very important to you. But there's something here that's getting stirred up with this transit where you may have to rethink what that looks like for you also. What does safety, security, and peace look like for you? And you may be finding it in a different place or with a different person. Okay, so let's see what we have. But these are the things that may be on your kind of emotional radar right now. So let's see what you need to know about this, Taurus. And I would say also, like, asking yourself, really, when do you hold back in saying certain things because you're afraid of your own anger, you know? And we know that Taurus, right, traditionally has a long fuse, right? Like, you guys don't just pop off like an Aries will, you know? Like, you definitely have a longer anger fuse. And that's often a good thing, right? We don't want to be always so reactionary. So, you know, but sometimes is the fuse too long? Like, again, are you giving somebody too much emotional grace? That's a personal question to you. I mean, everybody has a different, you know, thing they'll put up with there. But it can be something like that. So there could be some, you know, things to look at, having a more measured approach and getting out some messages that maybe are uncomfortable before it gets to the Taurus Red Bull scenario. All right, let's see what we have here. We have the Judgment, and we have the Page of Cups. And what do we have under that? Yeah, we got a Queen of Wands and a Knight of Cups. So that's very interesting. Well, let's start with this. So we have the Judgment and the Page of Cups. So there may be something going on with you where you have made some sort of decision about an emotional matter. It may be in its early stages. It may have something to do with a friendship, since we have the Pisces energy showing up here. It may have something to do with a creative project also, but I feel like it's something where you want to tenderly broach a subject. You want to bring it up. You're going to maybe try to do it with the Page of Cups here in a sensitive, caring way, but you've made the decision. And I think that's good. Like, there is something here about you asserting Queen of Wands, but in a more congenial, peace offering type way. Okay. So, you know, yes, the Queen of Wands is a go-getter. She can be assertive. Absolutely. You know, she's no wallflower, you know? So you are determined. I mean, with this, she's very determined also, this Queen of Wands. Like, she, you know, wants what she wants. So there is something here where, you know, you're going to be using this energy, but in a way that is a little softer, a little more Venusian, right? Which is your ruling planet, the Venus. So, you know, you'll be the iron fist and the velvet glove, so to speak. Like, you have a very clear, these two energies, like super clear, focused, like, this is what I need now. This is what I need from this relationship. This is what I need from this connection, this job, this, I mean, whatever it is for you. I'm going to, you know, test the waters, Page of Cups. I'm going to, you know, see, and then I'll take it the next step. Because notice we go from the page to the Knight here. So then I'll take it the next step. But if things don't change, because this is a powerful card of karmic change. If things don't change based on me expressing finally my emotions, you know, maybe I'm a little sharp. It's the Queen of Wands. But I'm trying not to be too, you know, I'm not trying to be Red Bull about this. I'm trying to be a little more Venus about it. If things don't change, I am out of here. Knight of Cups. So I think that's important. I think that you are ready to walk your talk with this Mars and Cancer transit away from things that are not emotionally fulfilling, but you're gonna give them a chance first. And that's what I would say with this energy. I would advise you to consider having that conversation, not being afraid of having that uncomfortable conversation, that meeting. It may go better than what you're thinking with these two energies here, but then you won't be afraid to make the change if you need to. Gemini moons. So this Mars in Cancer transit could be very interesting for you because you may be kind of tying yourself up in knots a little bit. That's Cancer, right? Cancer tends to worry a little bit about options, about your options. What's the best option? Now, Gemini moons can often be more in their head than in their heart. Okay, I mean, that's just the nature of a Gemini moon. It's not a disrespect, what I'm saying. So there's something in your world that might make you emotionally uncomfortable. Mars and Cancer, like something's going to be brought up emotionally where you may be trying to figure out the options or the approach intellectually. But that's not probably the best way to go about things. That's your natural response. It's your natural response to analyze and think and sometimes make jokes about emotional stuff. But Mars in Cancer is not going to support that, really. Okay, Mars in Cancer is going to point its arrow at you to consider things from a very important emotional perspective. And again, we're not saying that you're not emotional or anything like that. We're just saying like the approach. So that may be going on for you. There may be some sort of revelation of values and what's important to you. And there could be some surprising changes in direction that you go in emotionally if you allow yourself to feel. If you allow yourself to really experience a full range of emotions, especially places where you have felt thwarted or angry or upset. And instead of, again, intellectualizing that, like really feel it and feel what your emotions are trying to tell you and what your intuition is also trying to tell you, your instincts is trying to tell you about the next direction for you to go in. And there's going to be options for you. So let's see what the tarot has to say for you, Gemini. And I would be very careful about lashing out with your tongue at this time, because you may say things because you're emotionally frustrated, right? Or you intellectualize and you're like, well, what I'm saying is just the truth, so it can't hurt anybody because it's the truth. And you may hurt somebody very close to you and regret it later from things that you're just thinking, well, I'm being a truth warrior, so I can just say whatever. You do need to take other people's feelings into account, especially with your tongue. Gotta be careful. Blurting things out. Okay, so let's see what we need to know here for you. But I feel like, there is a direction. You want to go in some sort of new direction. And if you're feeling any sort of frustration about that happening, you don't want to take it out on people closest to you. Okay, so interesting, we have a Four of Cups and we have the Strength. We also, when I cracked open the deck and put it down on the table, we have an Ace of Coins and a King of Coins. So this may have something to do with your resources, right? It's very possible, this Mars transit. But it's also like, what you're valuing. And, you do want some sort of stable growth in your life. Stable growth. Whatever that may be. It could be finances. It could be a relationship that is really going somewhere, or family relationships, or something you value creatively, because we got the Leo energy here, or something else you want to choose, maybe about your physical well-being. You want some options to solidify and, kind of get yourself back on the right track. I mean, that may be going on. there is going to be some sort of opportunity the universe will bring. But see, here's that emotional dissatisfaction I was talking about, the Four of Cups. There's the guy sitting or gal sitting under the tree and just kind of like, you know, why are things the way they are? Why aren't things the way I want them to be? You know? So the universe is listening. The universe is bringing an opportunity. There's something here, though, also. The Strength card can be a very spiritual energy as well. It can be a very gentle energy because she is taming the lion. She's taming the beast, so to speak. I think there's an opportunity coming that will help tame your emotional beast that's been a little, you know, about something. But again, it's like, how do you use it? Can you take, you know, again, a more spiritual and higher energy, higher vibe approach to, you know, communicate to people close to you with more value and care, as I was saying before, taming the beast of your, you know, Gemini quick wit and you know, sometimes, I mean, Gemini moon's like, doesn't matter, like sometimes again, like you go because you say something because it is funny, and it probably is. It's probably like, if you weren't involved emotionally in the situation, you would think it was really funny. But when you're dealing with somebody who is emotionally involved in a situation and you just say that, like, they may not take kindly to that. They may not see the humor in it. So that's what I'm saying about this. There is something to consider other people's feelings and handling with a more gentle approach. Okay, the universe is bringing you an opportunity to help get you out of this funk. Okay, so be humble. I think that's what this is also saying to me. Be humble, be grounded, be sincere, King of Pentacles, and treat people around you as you would like to be treated. Also the Pentacles. Okay, this Ace of Pentacles here, having a very grounded and stable approach to starting something new of value. And something new of value could also be bettering your relationships with people. Okay, but there also could be some sort of financial fresh start here for you as well. It is very, very possible. This energy also to me is connected with home and family. We have the Four of Cups, which can be Cancer energy. Fourth house, the cups, right? The emotion. So there could be something here again about admitting that you need something more stable also for your living environment, and maybe a place that's more peaceful and also a place that's more healthy for you. You maybe you're around some people, there's these three cups, that are not good for you. Maybe they're involved in some shady, toxic things and you just don't want to be part of that, but you haven't figured out how to get out of it. I think the universe is going to help you, but you do need to maybe look at that and admit that first, that, yeah, you know what, I got to get out of this. Okay, so there could be a fresh start for you in grounding yourself in an environment that's going to be healthier for you also. All right, Cancer moons. Wow, this is a very intense transit for you. Mars, when it transits over your moon, can bring a lot of emotional upheaval and bring angry situations to the surface, especially in regards to family obligations, those closest to you. So this is a time absolutely for you to confront anything you have going on with family issues and family dynamics, and not be brushing them under the rug or acting passively and aggressively about them, as I discussed in my prelude to this video, what that would look like. Somebody once said to me, I did not say this or make this up, but somebody once said to me that depression is anger turned inward. And I thought that was very interesting. So I would advise you or have you think about that quote and how does that pertain to you if you're feeling a little depressed. And of course, it's not medical advice. If you feel that way, go talk to a therapist. Okay, this is just a tarot reading on YouTube. But, you know, if you're feeling that way, is it because you're turning your anger on yourself, that you're not acknowledging what may be going on out here, or you're stuffing it down, you're repressing it in some way? So if you're feeling especially low and something, you know, is it because of something that you're too scared to discuss with somebody else? Or you're just being again, this is not saying it's your fault, but are you emotionally avoidant? Are you avoiding something because it is so sensitive? It is so difficult to discuss. It's just bringing up a range of emotions. And the thing too is like Cancer energy in general is a lot about our history too, right? It's a sign that loves history usually. So does Taurus and Capricorn. But usually, Cancer is like love history, love the tales of the family, of their country, things like that. So this Mars transiting your moon could also be bringing up, uncomfortable family histories and traumas from the past. It could even bring up happy things that you're remembering, the good old days, the good times, and maybe they're not here anymore. It could make you painfully and acutely aware also of who's no longer in your life and how much you truly miss them. So there could also be some, there's such a thing as anticipatory grief, like when somebody is terminally ill and they're going to get ready to pass away and you're already in that grieving process. But I think there's also, a grief that just, that's already happened. Maybe some sort of loss in your life, whether it was last year, 12 years ago, doesn't matter, right? There's something that you can hear a song on the radio. You could smell a certain perfume. You could eat a certain food. It's all very Cancer stuff, right? And all of a sudden you're back and missing that person. There is that grief that still lives within your heart, your soul, your body. And you can experience it acutely again as if it was yesterday. So there could be maybe some things like that also going on for you with this Mars transit. So I would say it's really important for you to work with the emotional foundations of your life, really ground yourself emotionally, really check in with yourself emotionally as much as possible during this transit, and not allow yourself to repress things that need to come out into the light, into the open, but that need to come out in a healthy way, not in a passive aggressive or angry way. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's pull some tarots for you. Cancer moons. All right, let's see what we have. Hangman. I just said 12 years ago. There's the Hangman. There's the moon. Oh my God. All right. Let's see what we have. We have this and this. And then underneath, we have the Virgo and we have the World. Okay. So, like when I say underneath, I mean when I cracked open the deck and turned these over. Well, pick those out and then these were under. Okay. So we have something, I think, with this transit that you are going to have some big emotional release. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a video for each sign on the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces that's coming up shortly. So stay tuned for that. You may be having that big emotional release at that time, September 15th, 16th, with the Pisces energy here and the full moon energy here. But you've been holding on to something. This is the thing, Cancer moon. You have been holding on to something for a while. Again, it can be for 12 years. It could be a full year as well with the Hangman. You've been holding on to it. It could be a fear of moving forward with your future. It could be the fear of closing out a chapter. It could be a fear or doubt of being on your own in some way in the world. Or it could also be something where you're tired of being alone in the world. And, while you're perfectly able to take care of yourself, you maybe want to wrap up that chapter and be with somebody, have a relationship, be in a committed partnership. So there could be something like that going on too, where you're acknowledging that this is the season, this is the time for you to put to rest your hyper independence, which can be a trauma response. Now, because again, Mars is a very independent energy. And when he goes over your moon, the thing is, maybe there's an incident that occurs where you are reminded, I don't think it's anything negative. It could just be something that is a trigger, where you're reminded that you're handling everything yourself. Everything's on your shoulders, okay, with these energies. You successfully handle whatever it is with the world here, all right? You do it, but you're like, damn it, like, here it is again. I have to do it all myself. Like, wouldn't it be nice if I had a good friend or I had a partner or somebody that I could lean on? Okay. So there could be something like that going on for you as well with this Mars transit, that it really brings that out for you. So, it could go the other way too. It could be that maybe you have been waiting for the right moment to release yourself, wrap up something with somebody, and be on your own. It could go the other way also. And with Mars being a lot about freedom and freeing yourself, taking action steps to be independent, Aries, right? That's all that energy. You could be doing that also. So you got this. You're going to figure it out. Whatever challenge arises for you, you will meet it. But these are the themes and the energies that might be surfacing for you. Leo moons. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Leave me a comment if you know where that quote is from, but it's true. You do not want to be overlooked, ignored, passed over, passed by, But here's the thing. With Mars going through Cancer, which is the sign behind your moon sign, right? Mars is pointing his arrow of desire. He's pointing it right at your moon, right? But then he'll backtrack and he'll point it away, and then he'll come back and point it at your moon again when he transits, right? So when he goes retrograde, he will stick a toe into your sign up to 6 degrees, but then he'll say, oh, wait a minute, I still have unfinished business in Cancer, and then he backtracks in January till the end of February 2025. And then finally, the end of April, he'll be back in your sign, April of 2025. So this is a great opportunity for you to point your arrow of desire at yourself. And instead of looking for other people to give you acclaim and accolades and attaboys and, all those things, that you give those things to yourself, that you focus on your own desires, which may change. I mean, this is the thing. When Mars goes retrograde in Cancer again, in January, you may rethink those, and that's okay. I think you're going to go through a process of rethinking what you need emotionally from yourself, because Mars will stick a toe into your sign. I think you're in the process of going through an emotional renaissance, emotional sea change, right? Where the tides are shifting and you're in flux a little bit about your deepest desires concerning relationships, concerning your home and your family, which is what the moon represents, right? Maybe also your physical body a little bit. So but with Mars pointing his arrow of desire at you, it's again, what can you do to emotionally support yourself and make the decisions and the changes that you need to make instead of waiting for somebody else to do it for you? And I love Leo. This is not any disrespect to Leos or anything like that. Okay. But Leo is the sign of royalty, right? And sometimes Leo moons expect to be served. Okay. I mean, again, moon sign energy sometimes can be a little different than sun sign energy. Okay. It can express itself a little different. Like there's still an energetic similarity, but then of the Leo energy, but then it can come out a little different way. So, there may be something there where you need to serve yourself, take care of yourself and your needs, and put those first ahead of, again, like I'm saying, expecting other people to read your mind. This could also have something to do with communication of what you do need from people, instead of you thinking that they are going to be mind readers and just magically know and serve you what you want on a silver platter. So there can be that as well. And again, I'm not trying to sound harsh or anything, but my point is that, is there something that you have been secretly angry about that somebody else hasn't done for you? And I would ask myself, why haven't you done it for yourself? And that may be the energy you are dealing with this transit. All right, let's see what the tarot has to say for you, Leos, about this. No reversals. Let's see what we got. Just crack open the deck. Oh, we got the 3 of Swords. I'm telling you, there's something you're disappointed in somebody else. And there's the Cancer energy, the Chariot. Okay. And then, as I crack open the deck, I have the Magician and the High Priestess. Okay, wow. So you are probably nursing some sort of hurt or disappointment in secret, the High Priestess, if I read these two together. You may the fastest road to healing here is, again, stepping into your own power, doing it for yourself, the Magician. Okay? Because you intuitively and innately know what you want. There is something with the High Priestess of not expressing something. There is this also, possibly a blockage, right? That something has not been expressed. It could be you did express it, but it didn't manifest. And then you nursed a secret resentment. Or you just ran away, the Chariot, without confronting it, but you're secretly still resenting that the person didn't give it to you or the situation didn't go the way you wanted. So I think there's something here. It's not about running away from, it's about running toward. I would say there's something here about running toward your own agency and your own power. Like I was saying before, you're going to keep getting hurt if you're expecting people to be mind readers instead of, telling them and hoping they fulfill something. But certain things somebody cannot fulfill for you. As we know, if you are looking for someone to fulfill your ego needs, or, if you're a hungry ghost and you have a bottomless pit and you need I'm not saying you personally, but just in general, nobody can ever give enough attention, right? Like, you'll always be needy is my point. If there's something within you that can never be satisfied, and if that applies to you, then I'm not saying Leo moons, but just, if you have that, it doesn't matter. Nobody would fulfill what you need. Hence this High Priestess. So I think there is something here that only you can fulfill for yourself. And it may have something to do with self-esteem. It may have something to do with visibility, the Chariot. Like seeing yourself already as worthy and valuable, instead of waiting for somebody else to affirm it when maybe they never will. So this is kind of a complicated, it's an interesting mix. But I think that this Mars pointing at your moon with his arrow of desire is, confronting some things that have hurt you in the past that maybe you didn't process. Maybe you ran away from them. But now it's time to call your power back to yourself and give yourself what you need. And maybe sometimes the things you can't even admit that you need, not even to yourself. It's time to admit that and go get what you need and you want and you deserve. My dear Virgo moons, it is absolutely time to take care of your digestion. Take care of your stomach, your nutrition. Virgo energy tends to have sensitive digestion and food allergies or IBD, things like gas, all of those types of things. Since the moon in Cancer can be associated with food and nutrition and upset tummies and things like that, Mars is stirring up that energy in Cancer. So this is something for you to keep in mind. Now, so you want to calm your nerves and calm your stomach. Okay, first of all, during this transit. Second of all, Mars can be a little testy. Mars can be testy energy. Your moon, Virgo moons, are moons of service, right? You want to be helpful. You want to, you get emotional fulfillment from helping people. But it's important for you to remember to only help people when they ask and not rush in and start being bossy and tell them they need to do this, and that, and everything else, Otherwise, they're, worthless. See, that's the thing about any Virgo energy. Virgo can be very helpful with its analysis and insights and criticisms, right? They can be very helpful with those. Like, they have good ideas. They have excellent insights. Like Virgo, are really laser sharp focused. They can tell you things to fix a problem like that, right? But also, it can have an edge to it. And with Mars in Cancer, I would be careful of rushing in, and even though you're probably right and you probably, you know, have an amazing solution for somebody's problem. Turn the attention to your own problem solving. Don't use other people's shenanigans and trying to solve their lives as an escape from your own right now. Especially anything closely related to family, of course, or where you're living, how you're living, who you're living with. Okay, turn your powers of problem solving onto yourself and your own situation right now. And it's really important for you to manage your crankiness at this time and find a healthy outlet. I would suggest, like, again, I'm not a doctor, so you consult your doctor, but any sort of healthy movement and exercise to get the endorphins going will be really good for you, so that any excessive moodiness or crankiness is not taken out on the people that are closest to you. Okay, so let's see what we have going on. Virgo moon with this energy. There could be a very strong reevaluation of a friendship at this time, especially too, since you have, or any relationship really, you do have Saturn opposite your moon sign right now. So that's putting a lot of pressure on you emotionally and with your commitments. And are they really what you want? And Saturn is retrograde currently as well. So he is making you rethink anyway what you're emotionally dealing with. But again, if Mars in Cancer makes you feel like you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, like, what do I do here? Like this emotional frustration. If I let this person go, whether friend, lover, partner, whatever, then what? You know, I'll be alone. Is it really that bad? Am I being selfish? You know, all these things in my needs. But I think there are some things to be looking at, especially if a relationship has been very burdensome for you and you've been carrying the emotional load for too long. There may be something that comes to a head with this transit. Again, like I was saying to Taurus, you want to make sure you're not having this, like, you know, outburst. But you also don't want to passively aggressively avoid something either, right? So again, that healthy expression of frustration, or having a conversation when you're not angry, but when you can approach it in a measured way and not being super critical, but actually trying to be communicative of just your needs, but not trying to criticize the other person, but just explaining your own emotional needs. So these could be things happening for you, Virgo. We have a Six of Swords. We have a Seven of Coins. All right, let's see what's under those. We have your energy, and we have the Eight of Cups. So there may be something coming to a head at this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. I am going to do a separate video for the signs on that, so stay tuned for that. It's in your season, but you're contemplating about being alone again in some regard. I think you are going to make a decision probably. It may happen now. I'm feeling more in by the end of your birthday season, because of your showing up here with this Hermit. Then later on in the transit, I don't think it's going to be happening in October or even, you know, next year when Mars goes back into Cancer. I think that you are going to make a decision to bravely move ahead on your own in some way. You have spent a lot of time evaluating this situation. And mentally you are ready, but I don't think you're going to replace it with anything anytime soon. It may be not until next, like March or April, when the Mars in Cancer retrograde is finished and it goes back into Leo, that you're ready for like the next new best friend or new partner or whatever. So I think you may be taking some time out, an extended time out, once you've kind of made up your mind that this situation is leaving your life. And that's okay. That's okay. There is something here. There is like something spiritually that is, it's weighing heavy on your heart, your energy. You know it, that whatever's going on is not for your highest good. Like I said, you have been spending time evaluating it. So it's just that emotional release of physically removing yourself. Notice both of these are removal from the scene, here and here. So physically, first it's the mental energy of the Six of Swords. Mentally, you've removed yourself already, I think. But now it's actually having the conversation and telling the person, I'm actually leaving the scene emotionally and my bags are packed. So Libra moons, this Mars in Cancer transit is definitely going to draw your attention to wherever there is emotional imbalance in your life, wherever you have been repressing your emotions, wherever you have been passively, aggressively dealing with things. It is really time to bring emotional equilibrium to your life, using the Mars energy to balance your scales rather than tip them into, a frenzy of angry energy, as, Mars can do to anybody. So I think that's going to be really important for you. It's also going to bring a lot of attention to where other people's needs maybe have been put before your own. The fairness in terms of the energy you give to other people and the energy you give to yourself. Is that imbalance for you or imbalanced, right? Is it equilibrium or is it like this? So I think that's going to be a highlight for you with this transit. At some point, Mars will be squaring your moon, bringing some sort, because I don't know the exact degrees of your personal moon sign, or your personal degree of your Libra moon, and that's a friction and tense energy. But it could be a little bit of a kick in the bum to get you to face and deal with an emotionally out of whack situation with your closest relationships, home and family. If your moon is in the very late degrees of Libra, so like 27, 28, 29-ish of Libra, you'd have to look it up and know. Pluto's also squaring your moon right now, okay, during this transit. So you could be getting it kind of from both sides of the Mars and the Pluto. So it can feel a little like you're getting squeezed, like both of them kind of like on your moon, like, hello, what are you going to do to take care of yourself? What changes can you make to take care of yourself and get your emotional life in a better balance that works for you? All right, Libras, let's see what the tarot may have to say about this for you. Libras, crack open the deck, let's get some advice. Ace of Pentacles. Wow, and an Ace of Wands. Wow. Oh my God. And under the deck, when I cracked it open, we had the Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Are you kidding me? Wow. So, as I've said before, on the channel, sometimes the light gets a little weird. As I've said before on the channel, aces for me are about the self. And this is saying it is time for the situation to change and you need to think about yourself. I think there's something you have been putting other people's needs way before your own. And this is the season. This is the transit. This is the time of, yes, you're getting that squeeze. You're getting that squeeze from Pluto and Mars to change your habitual response of thinking of somebody else first rather than yourself. It is time for you. It is time for you, dear Libras. Self-esteem and self-worth, taking action that's aligned and feeling emotionally more satisfied with the choices you're making for yourself, the changes you are making for yourself. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful for you. This is the Jupiter energy. Jupiter is in Gemini, which is in favorable alignment to your moon. So again, it's about making the changes, setting the wheel in motion for new beginnings, new emotional beginnings, new exciting adventures, and maybe a new job or a new way of earning income, or just feeling just like I'm putting myself first, because Pentacles for me are about self-worth and self-esteem, and making new chapters happen for yourself. Like, as I was saying to one of the other signs, I think it was Leo, like, If we just sit around and wait and expect other people to be mind readers, know our needs, and serve our needs to us on a silver platter, that doesn't happen in real life, right? So it really is about you rebalancing your scales, and instead of silently suffering or passive aggressively acting out, right? Use the Mars in Cancer energy to assert in a healthy way better boundaries for yourself and new chapters to begin, because you're taking the wheel of life in hand, wheel of fortune, and you're working with the energies and you're saying enough is enough. Let me start things going for myself. You're going to feel a whole lot better. Now, does this mean we totally abandon everybody else in our lives? No, it doesn't mean that you don't have those people in your life anymore. Unless they are energy vampires, then you may consider getting rid of them, and not associating with them anymore. But that's not what we're saying. We're just saying it's the rebalancing of the scales that need to happen before more anger, resentment, and bitterness set in. Okay? So this is gorgeous. Look at these aces, Libras. Right? This is a whole new beginning if you choose to take it. Remember, Mars is about taking action. And instead of the Mars in Cancer energy festering and passively, aggressively acting out or ignoring its feelings, you're going to say, no, I'm going to use the Mars in Cancer transit to take action on new chapters that nurture me, right? Cancer's the nurturing energy. Mars is how we use our energy. I'm going to turn that Mars arrow of desire onto myself and start a new life for myself. You have the support of Jupiter and the universe to do just that. All right, Scorpio moons, of which I am also a Scorpio moon. This is what I feel about this Mars in Cancer transit for our moon sign. I believe this is really a time to take the higher road spiritually. Now, that does not mean and again, I'm not talking about forgiveness or anything like that. I'm going to explain myself. There is a karma that is unfolding right now. Okay? There is a karma unfolding. There is Pluto back in Capricorn. There's Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Uranus is retrograde now. We have Mars in Cancer. There's some interesting dynamics. I'm not going to get into all of that. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces coming up. I am going to do videos on that for all the signs, so stay tuned. There's a lot of karmic energy right now. And here's the thing, Scorpio moons know the truth. We know the truth. We may not always say the truth, but we know the freaking truth. And there is a karmic situation playing out now in your life where you know the truth. And you know the truth, not just the literal truth, but the spiritual truth. You know the spiritual truth of what is going on. However, I personally feel it is not in your best interests right now to inform people of that. You don't have to be the cosmic karmic deliverer of justice right now. You can take a step back and allow the situation to unfold and keep your spiritual sanity right now. This is what I feel. So what I would suggest is a little bit of an energetic pullback. Take that Mars in Cancer energy and focus it, Scorpio, back on yourself. Try to take a step back and look at the silly things people are doing right now. Again, if they're doing it directly to you, we're not saying we condone that type of behavior, but rather than getting in a Scorpio battle of wits with them, using your stinger Scorpio tail to call them out, I think that's a waste of energy, because karma is taking care of the situation. So that's why I'm saying, take the higher ground and let karma deal with them, because it is. All right. So I would say use this Mars in Cancer transit to explore your own creativity, to get in the flow emotionally of what you want to do next with your creative energy, your emotional energy. Like really nurture yourself and what makes you happy right now, rather than worrying about the karmic justice that does need to be served. Don't get me wrong. It needs to be served, but you're not going to serve it. Let the universe take care of it. So at some point, Mars will be trining your moon, a favorable alignment. So again, you may feel a lot of good ease and flow if you just take that arrow of desire on Mars and focus on yourself and making yourself feel good, making yourself feel aligned. And like I said, doing creative work and things that are productive for you rather than lashing out in anger, right? Or being the arbiter of justice, as I was saying before. All right, so let's see what you need to know, Scorpio. This could be a very good and positive and powerful time for you to figure out if your home environment is aligned with you also, and making changes that support your emotional well-being in your home. So you could find the key to unlocking something favorable with where you're living or how you're living, like a new place or new furnitures or redecorating or something like that. It would be a great time to do that. And it would take your mind off of that other karmic situation that is going on. 6 of Cups. 9 of Coins. We have the 8 of Swords and we have the Page of Cups. Okay. So those were under when I cracked open the deck. So yeah, you could be dealing with somebody who's very close to you. 6 of Cups. It could be a sibling. It could be, best friend. It could be a lover. It's, possible. It could be an ex-lover. It doesn't matter. But here you are, this 9 of Coins, like you are taking an independent stance away from the situation. You're turning a blind eye. She's not looking at it, right? So this is going to be your stance for like 8 weeks. You're just not going to communicate about it. You're not going to look at it. Instead, you are going to turn the focus back on your own creative efforts and endeavors. This can also be nurturing some sort of hobby or tending to your own garden or something. That's also this 9 of Coins, right? So there could be something where you're tending your own garden emotionally, but also it could be literally, as a way to distract yourself and not look at this karmic situation. There's a surprise twist with how this is going to unfold. When I saw this pop out, what I thought immediately is somebody's going to come back around and tell you that you were right. That's what I feel. Now, will it happen tomorrow? No. It might happen at the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. That's possible. But it could also take until Pisces season. And it could take until early next year before that person kind of comes back around with the cup of reconciliation and admits, oh, by the way, you were right about that. Again, you already know you're right. You're standing in profound truth. You are a very truthful messenger, but you're holding back. See how the bird is on her hand. You're not sending the bird out. You're holding on. It's in this 8 of Swords too. You're holding on to your thoughts and your words about this karmic situation. But then there will be a coming back around about this. I think it will work out. This is just this reading of this moment. Depending on your personal situation, this could be too little too late because it's the Page of Cups. It could just be like, okay. There could be something that's, with this 8 of Swords, Scorpio moons, we hold on to resentment sometimes, which isn't healthy. I'm not saying we should do that, but there may be something that you hold on to from this experience with this person or situation. Even though they may come back around, like there's something you hold on to and now that maybe changes your feelings about them. They may still be in your life, but you know what I'm talking about, Scorpio moon, right? Especially if it's a complicated sibling relationship with the 6 of Cups. It's like you may still love them and care about them, but something in the situation and the way it's evolving may have forever changed you. And you love them now, still, of course, but there's a caution. There's a cautionary tale here. And it may be, too, because of this Nine of Coins that comes after this, you may realize that you've been there for them, but they haven't been there for you, and they may not be there for you. And that could be the surprise twist also. But I do feel there's something about you drawing your energy back from a situation. It will be self-protective, but it's also, I'm just going to say it again, because I know how we are, Scorpio moons. It's not up to you to deliver the karma here. It's going to be taken care of. Sagittarius moons, the explorers extraordinaire of the zodiac. Emotionally freewheeling, don't like to be tied down, like to have a lot of different types of friends and interests, like to travel, explore the world, even if it's just from your armchair. You know, you're an explorer, you're an acquirer of knowledge, you're very wise, but sometimes you can also be a little self-righteous, okay? You know what I'm saying? Any Sag placement can, but sometimes Sagittarian moons can get a little dogmatic, a little stubborn with what they consider to be the truth. Maybe they don't always listen to other people. Okay, so, you know, every sign has its positives and negatives. And sometimes Sagittarius, you know, sometimes moon and sun energy can be, yes, similar, but then we also have a little twist when we're talking about the moon, since it's very emotionally based, emotionally driven. So this Mars in Cancer is really kind of wackadoo energy for you. It's I think it's puzzling. It's like, what do I do with this? Like when Mars in Leo is there, you're like, okay, I feel the flow, I feel the vibe, I'm feeling aligned, I feel like my emotions and my actions are aligning. Mars in Cancer, you're like, what swamp am I in right now? Like, what is this? Why am I not gaining traction? Why am I just feeling this emotional mishigas of all sorts of things, feeling really emotionally out of sorts. This could be a time of, I would say one of the best uses for you of this energy, instead of outwardly questioning, which is very Sag. Sag loves questions and inquiry, which is good. I would suggest that you pour these questions, these conundrums into journaling, into creative writing, into making an art piece, you know, some creative self-expression right now, instead of stewing in your own juices. This has that type of energy for you. And that can be an uncomfortable place, you know? So I think in making something useful and exploring your emotions through art and creativity, instead of feeling very frustrated or very kind of at sea. I'm just getting this feeling of not being able to know, like, get emotional clarity on something and feeling very frustrated about it. Because you know, you're a seeker of truth and you want the answers, you want the truth, but the truth may be hiding right now. The truth may be hidden in plain sight. And maybe the best way you're going to get at the truth right now is through art or creative expression. And it could be that it's not about some universal truth that you need to get at or somebody else's truth, but your own truth. And as I was saying to Virgo, maybe there's something here where you'd rather look at somebody else's life and truth and what they're doing rather than looking at your own. But this Mars in Cancer transit is really encouraging you to dive deep into your own emotions, as uncomfortable as it could get for you, and not run away and hide, but also don't expect immediate answers either, or one absolute truth. There may be many truths, many sides that are happening with this transit. So that's a perfect vehicle, you know, for artistic exploration. I also feel, Sagittarius moons, that it's a really important time for you to not have emotional confrontations, for you to scuttle sideways like the crab And you want to emotionally confront yourself and see what's going on with you, but not engage in those conversations or fights with other people. Again, those would be distractions away from your whatever is going on for you. But there could be something that surprises you about somebody in your life that surfaces. I'm not really feeling so much a partner. I'm feeling more of a friend or colleague. And I think it's going to be important for you to protect your emotional self like the crab does with its hard shell. Because Sagittarians, Sag energy, it's out there, right? It's like here you go. And especially moons, which are emotions, like, again, what you see is what you get. Now, I like that energy and I respect that energy, but not everybody does. And sometimes people try to take advantage of that. So I think it's going to be important for you to know really who you can be safe with your emotional life. Because you may be dealing with somebody or discover somebody you can't be safe with. So let's see what you need to know. Saggies. Crack open the tarot. Saggy moons. What do we got? All right, we got a 4 of Wands. And we have the Chariot. Okay. And we have the World. And we have the Lovers when I cracked open the deck. Okay. Well, this is another way to look at the energy. I mean, it is very possible here that there's energy around some sort of cosmic union. Okay, Cancer rules home and family. It rules, of course, as we're saying, the 4th house, where you're living, how you're living, who you're living with. There could be an elopement. You may decide, if you're of the age to get married, of course, you can be any age to get married. You can be 92 and get married. But there's something here where there could be an elopement. There could be or some sort of unexpected travel to a place where maybe you want to have a second home or you want to put down roots. If you already have a partner, maybe you're contemplating moving abroad. Or some place that's very different. It could be in the same country, but a place that's extremely different than where you are right now. So again, moon represents our home. As a Sag moon, you do love to travel. And we got the travel energy showing up here. It could be a travel for a holiday, a celebration, a family celebration, anniversary. It could be a time where you really reconnect with your partner. It could be also like maybe you go to a wedding of a friend. You don't have a partner. You could meet somebody there, Sag moon. You could meet somebody at a celebration for somebody else who would become an important part of your life. So that's possible also. But I would say, with what I was saying before, no matter what you're doing, I think it's important for you to be very protective of being too open and trusting emotionally right now. With this Mars in Cancer transit. When Mars goes into Leo, November 5th to December 5th, 6th, okay, that's a whole different story. And when Mars goes back into Leo at the end of April, that's a different story as well. So, again, sometimes Sagittarius, bold, adventurous, they just take action before they think it through. So I'm just saying, if you meet some new people, if you're on a travel or whatever, don't be like, Scorpio moon thinking, being suspicious of everybody. Could speak in my own moon sign, but temper your natural inclination to trust with a little bit of care. That's all I'm saying. But there could be some sort of beautiful new adventure for you with somebody close to you, or you could be discovering a new connection with a new place. You're on the cusp maybe of making a decision about going in an entirely new direction in terms of home and family and where you're living, wrapping up one residence. But you may also be embarking, we got doubles here. You may be embarking on another residence. We have the 2, and we have the 2 here. So it could be something like that. A Sag moon's probably, you don't want to stay in one place too long anyway. You like options. You like exploring different things. So again, a second home, a vacation home, a home base and then you travel a lot and then come back, like that type of thing. There may be some changes on the horizon. You're thinking about that. You're wanting that to happen. So that may be going on. I mean, there's nothing negative here. Remember, it's a general reading. But this also could be saying your moon sign is really craving this right now. You're craving adventure. You're craving reconnection with people. You're craving learning a new language, this Gemini in this world. And you're craving those types of things. Like, again, Mars in Cancer is about our needs and taking action on our emotional needs. What nurtures us? And if you've been feeling stuck, maybe this is also the message for you right now, is that take it upon yourself to start getting out and about. Or, there's plenty of YouTube videos and free things where you can learn new languages, explore, travel videos on YouTube, whatever, until such time as you can take a literal trip yourself. But bringing that nurturing energy into your life of exploration and adventure is what you need maybe right now. Capricorn moons. I forget who said hell is other people. I think that was Sartre who said that. But, this energy may call to mind that quote, Capricorn moons. As Mars transits opposite your moon sign, you could feel especially agitated, poked, prodded, annoyed by other people and their emotional needs and agendas. You just want to be left alone to do your thing. There could be some interesting things domestically, in terms of repairs or something that you may need to take care of in the home. They could come about suddenly, that's possible. But they may also be things that have been long standing that you haven't addressed yet. And now you're kind of seeing, I better really get on that. Like that crack in the foundation really can't last another winter. Like that type of thing. But Mars transiting opposite your moon, and opposition is a tug of war. There could be a lot of tug of war between the needs of other people and your own needs. And, keeping the balance and not getting sucked into being, the one on call all the time to fix everything. Capricorn moons, super responsible. You take care of your business and everybody else's business too, because they know you're capable. And of course they call on you and ask you, and then you have a hard time saying no because of that super responsible nature of yours ruled by Saturn. But then sometimes Capricorn moons end up resenting it, right? But you did say yes to it. So there could be some things with Mars poking and prodding on your own energetic boundaries in terms of, are you there for yourself first? Right? It's okay to do things for other people, but if you're not taking care of your own needs and what needs to be done, then that's not a good vibe. I'm also getting another vibe for you. Another quote. Here's another quote for you from the archives. I'm getting that both fish and house guests stink after 3 days, right? The Benjamin Franklin. Well, it's attributed to him. Somebody else could have said it. He was a good plagiarist, Benjamin Franklin. He tweaked a lot of other people's sayings. But anyway, so there could be also something or someone or some situation in your life that overstays its welcome. And that's getting on your last nerve. And again, with the Mars in Cancer, you may be like, well, can I really say anything about this? Because, that's the other thing about Capricorn energy, Capricorn moons, you are very aware of social protocols and, politeness and manners and things like that. Sometimes you drop hints hoping people will get it. You also have certain standards. And sometimes you think other people's standards are the same as yours. You would never stay past 3 days. That's just common sense, right? That. Other people don't have as much common sense as you do. You could get frustrated by that and feel, can I say something? Can I not say something? So there could be some emotional stuff going on with something like that also. Capricorn moons, Bobo has taken up all the space on my desk to crack open the deck to shuffle it appropriately and crack it open. So we will have to, we will have to work around him. All right, he's been asleep on his little cat tree for most of this video, but he showed up for you, Capricorn. All right, let's see. Capricorn moons. What do they need to know about this? Mars in Cancer. Three of Coins. And an Empress. All right. Oh, and then we have an Ace of Coins, and we have the Two of Cups. Okay. All right. Other people are in the mix here. Okay, we have three people here. We do have a mother energy. So this could be somebody, an elderly aunt. It could be your mother, your grandmother, a sister. Okay, so we have that. We also have somebody closer to you, like a friend or, you know, a sibling or a business associate. So we have somebody else going on here. These people are important to your life. We have the Pentacles here. So what I would say to this, Capricorn, is go with the flow. Work with the harmonics. And what I would say with this too is, how can you get them to see your point of view? Maybe it's, you know, what are you trying to accomplish together? So as an example, I like concrete examples. Let's say it's this person who's come to stay for 3 days, or they're coming to visit you. Okay, let's just say. And we know that it's the 3-day mark, right? After that, get them out. Okay. So again, maybe they come for, or you arrange it so that they come and visit you for a 3-day conference. The conference is only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have to go back to work by Monday. It's a win-win. They can't overstay their welcome. And you make it clear to them that you have other responsibilities, Empress, other duties, other things you must attend to. You know, if it could be your kids as the mothering energy, or you have your mother, you got to take her to a doctor appointment, or whatever it might be. You have other responsibilities to attend to. So it's not a lie, but it's a built-in mechanism, so you can still see them, but the boundary is there. Okay, you see my point. We have the same thing, like somebody close to you. If you value the connection, which you do, this Ace of Coins that is here, how can you make this a win-win? Okay, I think you might be called upon, Capricorn Moon, to be there for somebody who's maybe going through some health-related thing. They may need you to take them to a doctor appointment or be there while they're having a procedure or something like that. Again, that it's up to you whether you do that or not, but I would say you do value that connection. You will show up and do that. But again, what's the boundary? Sure, I can do that for you. I'll even get some groceries in for you. I'll give you a lift. I'll make sure you get up the elevator to your apartment okay, and I'll, you know, tuck you into bed. Okay, that's fine. But then you know what? I do have to go back to work. You know, I'll call you tomorrow and check in on you. So I think, you know, we don't have anything bad here. I think it's very important that, you know, you still want to nurture these connections and these people around you. The Empress is here. And that is the Capricorn Moon. It's very loyal, very nurturing energy. But by the same token, find those built-in boundaries for yourself. Honor your own needs also. This Aces for me are about the self. This is your energy, the Pentacle. Honor your own needs. Find a way that it works for you and also the other person. Again, it's the balance, right? When we get agitated with this Mars and Cancer energy, I think a lot of the times is when we are ignoring our own needs. Let's face it, Mars rules Aries, which is about the self. Again, when we ignore too much of ourself and it's always the other person, the other person, the other person, our home, our family, or this and that, and we get lost, then we get passive aggressive. Then we get annoyed. Then we get testy. So this is a real testament, these energies, to honoring your needs, but still being there for others in a way that's constructive. And you may also, this is interesting too with this 3, if you have a sibling or you have somebody else around who could help, especially if it's with a mother or somebody else or, you know, something like that, you know, call them and say, you know, let's do this together. Why should I have to take mom always to her doctor's appointments by myself? How about you do this one and I'll do that one? That type of thing. But again, Capricorn, if you don't step up and say those things, they'll just keep tasking you with doing it, because you are responsible and you wouldn't shirk your duty to somebody you were loyal to. But loyalty has its limits, and I think that's important for you to realize with this transit. So Aquarius, Aquarius moons, I think that this transit of Mars in Cancer is really going to have you questioning if your relationships hurt you or heal you. Okay, like, are they supporting your well-being, or are they just a huge ass drain on your energy? I think that's the main theme for you. This may be especially acute when Mars is hovering at that 28th, 29th degree of Cancer, which will be opposite Pluto retrograde, but actually by then he'll be going direct again in Capricorn at the 29th degree. This will be happening in very early November, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, around that time before Mars goes into Leo, which is also, going to be opposite your moon sign. So, I think there's going to be some opportunities for you to unearth people's motivations. There may be some frustrations that you're going to need to face about, are you being emotionally supported in your work, in your home? Like, do you feel that people love and value you, or are they just taking your energy, taking your good ideas and not giving you credit, exploiting you in some way? And, opening your eyes and changing your mindset about maybe some certain relationships. These could be family also. I mean, it's possible. Maybe you've been putting up with something in your family for a very, very long time. You've been stoic. You've been hanging in there. You've been giving the best of yourself, as a good son or daughter or aunt or uncle or grandma or grandpa. I mean, whatever. But you may be reaching a limit with this Mars in Cancer transit. It may be really showing you where the writing is on the wall of, this is not working for me anymore. And there may be some interesting things that come to a head in that time period. Also, I would say around February, February maybe 18th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, like around that time also, it's possible, in 2025. So it's going to be interesting. Let's pull some tarots. But that's what I feel. I think you're really acknowledging where there's dis-ease and a feeling of uneasiness with what people keep expecting from you emotionally. And, it's getting personal. That's what I feel like. It's like you've been giving in a very altruistic way. You've been such a concerned person, humanitarian, giver of, to friends, family, your community, even. I mean, whatever it is you're doing. But at some point, it's like, is this really fulfilling? Am I doing anybody any favors? Like, am I doing myself any favors with this? You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want the kind of selflessness that makes you end up losing yourself, is my point. Okay? And I think you're going to be facing some stuff with that, with this transit. And you may find yourself getting stomach aches. You may find yourself getting agita, heartburn, all these types of things as, an alert mechanism. Your body's trying to tell you, hey, Aquarius, like, enough is enough, Let's see. Ace of Cups. Six of Swords. Wow. Okay. Let's see what's under that. Seven of Cups and the Emperor. So you could be dealing with a very headstrong person who is delusional about how you're just going to constantly be there for them. But another way to look at this is you're taking back your energy. You're calling back your energy your physical energy, your mental energy, and you're going to be funneling it into taking action, the Emperor, on your own hopes and wishes and dreams. So this is very interesting with the Six of Swords, which can be about, moving past troubles, moving on. But I think with this aces for me are about the self. It is this emotional and mental reset to call your energy back so that you have more for yourself to channel into your own dreams and desires. I think, and this is only normal too, I think, with Pluto getting ready to go into your sign again, November 19th, 20th, 2024. Like, you've got to be tuned into your energy. I don't care if I know this is for Aquarius moon, but whatever Aquarius energy you have, sun, moon, rising, Venus, whatever, like Pluto will demand intensity and focus from you. Like, you're not going to be able to ignore him. Just ask any Capricorn. Okay. So you want to clean up and clear out things that are not going to be supportive of your energy. And Pluto will help you make fresh emotional starts. When he goes over your moon, there is likely to be some sort of change in your residence, a change maybe within your family. You could get married, you could have your first kid, you could buy your first house, you could move cross country, you could move across the world. I mean, Pluto's going to bring interesting changes for you. And it's time to draw the energy back to you. It is time to let go and not feel guilty about moving on either. But know that you're doing something for yourself to invest in the future of your dreams. And then we have this Emperor, which is very much about being the CEO of your own life, leading, right? And it's the Aries energy. And we're talking about Mars. So it is about being the CEO and commanding your energy. That's why I keep saying calling your energy back to you so you can decide how to direct it. So, again, you may have decided to be altruistic, selfless, giving to certain causes or people or situations in your life. Maybe you chose that at one time, but maybe also you did try to get out of it at one point, but didn't for whatever reason. Maybe there was guilt tripping or manipulation or something. But now it's time to realize that you are in command and control of your energy and your power. Bring it back to you. Let's start pursuing those dreams that you have for yourself. So this Mars and Cancer journey could be very helpful in having you call back your power. But it's also going to have you face this Seven of Cups, any illusions or delusions you've had about other people in your life. Other people could have just been users and takers, the Emperor. It's possible. And you may have some realizations about that could be a little uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is there to help you create that change. Emotionally, let go. Mentally, Six of Swords, and move on and bring the energy back to you. Ace of Cups. Pisces moons, beautiful creators, beautiful intuitives, beautiful dreamers, beautiful sensitive souls, Pisces moons. So Mars in Cancer transit is going to be at some point trining, favorable alignment to your moon, giving some sort of energy of flow, emotional flow. As I said, the Scorpio, this could be a really good time for you to work on home projects, channeling that Mars action-oriented thing into making improvements in your home, make it more beautiful, more comfortable, whether it's an apartment or home, trailer, I don't care, whatever it is, right? Doing the things to make it more amenable to you. This is also a great time for you to channel any type of intense emotional energy, and you feel deeply, Pisces, into creative outlets, into songwriting, into poetry, into dance, whatever artistry, baking, I don't care, planting flowers, whatever you want to do, making perfume, it's very Pisces, making jewelry, beautiful jewelry, paintings of the sea, all of this, very Piscean. starting a, spiritual practice like learning tarot or something. That's very Pisces moon as well. This is a great time for you to energize your creative dreams, your creativity, your desires to explore new creative outlets for yourself. This is an excellent time to do that, and also to beautify your home. It is possible also that there could be some interesting energy and opportunities for you to connect with other like-minded people at this time. So you may be having some more like artist dates or adventures or things of that nature. You are, of course, a very emotionally intuitive sign. And Mars in Cancer just in general can have our emotional energy levels kind of go up and down. So you may find that that's the case more than usual for you also, to have kind of these like a lot of shifting and changing moods. But again, with Mars trining the moon, it shouldn't be a problem. You should be able to handle it. But just be aware of that, because you may think, oh my God, I'm more moody, or things are shifting more than they usually do for me. In the morning, I'm laughing. At lunchtime, I'm crying over something book I'm reading. At dinner time, I'm like hysterical with laughter. You get my point. So just know that that's all part of this energized flow of feeling that you may be having at this time. And I think it's also important for you, Pisces moons, to be looking at energetic baggage that weighs you down, especially that acts as some sort of block to your creativity. And also any type of romantic energetic blockages, unprocessed emotions or anger about maybe some relationships from your past. Saturn, of course, is still in your sign. He's going retrograde. So he is about in the middle degrees of Pisces right now and through this transit. So he is, stirring up, having you look at your commitments, and are they serving you or not? Where do you need to be stepping up into doing the right thing for yourself, being an adult, and maybe letting something go or recommitting to something? That's also possible. Like again, Saturn retrograde, you're rethinking certain things in your life, and that Mars in Cancer may help bring out the emotional energies surrounding your emotional commitments, and if they're still right for you or not. So let's see what you need to know with the tarot, Pisces. Let's see what we got for you. Pisces. Pisces people, Mars in Cancer. Let us see. Pisces moon people. Moons. Pisces moons. Oh, there we go. 3 of Cups. I told you, dancing. The sun. Beautiful. And we have, cracking open the deck, we have an Ace of Wands and a 2 of Wands. Okay. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is the thing. I mean, you have to align. I mean, we don't have to do anything, but I suggest you really align with your creative impulses during this transit, your creative energies. What makes you feel in flow? What makes you feel free? What lights you up? Lights up your heart space, lights up your creative energy. What makes you feel on fire, like you can, do anything? And also this combo of energy, I'll get to the 2 of Wands in a minute. This combo right here is making me feel like totally authentic, free-flowing energy that is not, it's like you wouldn't even think to question it. There's no doubts. There's no shenanigans. There's no inauthenticity. There's no play acting, drama. It's just pure vibes. It's pure vibes. It's like people you jam with, people you hang out with, people you groove with. Like you can, feel the sense of joy and optimism. This Sun card, this joy. I mean, so much joy here of being with the right aligned people. Now, maybe you got to find those people still. Maybe they're already in your life. Spend more time with them. If they're not given that vibe, maybe it's time to distance yourself from them. But again, Ace of Wands, passion, fire, new beginnings that light up your emotional authenticity. You can just fully be your beautiful Pisces moon self. Like, you don't have to explain why you like tarot. Okay, you do. Like, you know, or why you just painted your whole room purple. Right? The people who love you and get you will be like, oh, that's cool. You know, like, they're not going to be like, why did you do that? You know, you get what I'm saying. Okay. So surrounding yourself with so much joy, love, and creativity, and new people, new places, starting new things with this Mars and Cancer transit. It is the Aries energy. So energizing the sense of exploration, right? And going out and finding the things that nurture you, the people and places and things and activities that nurture you. You need this in your life. This Two of Wands, I think what this is saying to me is there's going to be new horizons that open up for you. I think that this is going to be coming next year because we're dealing with this transit like for quite a while. All right. So I think this is imminent. This is like happening, you know, now and into October and the first week of November. And then I think as these new exciting things develop for you, when Mars goes back into Cancer at the beginning of January and into February until the 23rd, when he goes direct again, he'll still be in Cancer until I think April 18th or something around there. It's like you're going to have other opportunities that surface again, maybe during the first couple months of 2025 that come out of this. Okay. So you have beautiful, good things to look forward to here, Pisces, with this energy. A whole new doorway is going to open up for you based on these things that you initialize that make you feel good and energized emotionally and creatively. So thank you so much for joining me for this rather long and rather epic discussion of Mars's transit in Cancer and what this means for your moon sign. If you found this content valuable, please do consider sharing it with others, giving it a thumbs up. That engagement really helps my channel and helps push the messages out to more people who could benefit from their messages. So it's a win-win for me, for you, for everybody. Okay. But thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate you guys, love you guys, and may we all use these energies and benefit from this transit. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you plan on doing that. I would love to hear. That's it for me, Stella Wilde, signing out.